coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Good morning, Hebrew Nation. I hope you guys are blessed. Every one of my princes, my princesses, my brothers, my sisters. I just hope you're blessed like I am today. I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled. Remember that whenever I do videos, a lot of times in the wintertime, the heat, it bothers me. So it dries out my throat, it dries out my nasal passages, and it's something that I have to deal with. So if I sniff or whatever, I'm just trying to clear my airway. Just be patient with me, because I'm going to take you somewhere that's going to make it worth it. But I'm not going to let this stop me. Today, we are talking about YAHUAHS Shabbaths. Without these Shabbaths, you are not separated from the world unless you're on His. And I believe this is part of the seal. So, today we're going to discuss that. You're going to understand it a little better. And everything that I say to you, like any other time, we are in this courtroom with our Father Yahuwah. He is the only judge that sits on the bench for me, and He directs and He watches over every word that I say. I will not say anything unless I hear Him say it. Okay? You can be sure of that. Anybody that has been listening to my videos or even knows me, that's what it is. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what my opinion is. My opinion always lines up with the Father. Let me just say that. But what we want is what Yah says. That's what we want. And then we can have a firm foundation to build our house on it, which is our trust, and come back into these covenants. So the Sabbath is where we are going to start. Now, in my other video, I told you that the moon, when it is full, just like the first, when Yah created it, is to mark our months, our days, our years, so that we can be lined up with Yahuwah's feasts. We are not tricked by the Gregorian Rome calendar, which was made to get us off those feasts. Why? Because we hold power when we're in that covenant. They can't deal with that power. Why? Because they're dealing with Yahuwah. You understand? There's promises in this covenant coming up, so you better listen to what I'm saying to you. Because if you miss this one, you have to wait a whole nother year to get in this covenant. Do you understand? It's a 12-month covenant. It lasts for 12 months, just like the Day of Atonement. So I'm going to explain all that to you, but today we're going to focus on His Sabbaths. See, let me explain something to you. When Father gives me something, like if He gives me a twig and says, I want you to investigate this and then bring back the knowledge that you gather with it. I'm like, okay, Father. I will take off running at full speed and bring Him back a full-size oak tree and to replace that twig that He gave me. That's just how I am. He has taught me to be that way. Because if you're anywhere outside of His laws in that Old Testament, you are naked. And you are only on His mercy. So I got to get you there. I got to get you there. So let's talk about these Sabbaths. We said that the full moon is the marking of it. So what is the Sabbath? Well, He said we work 6 days and we rest on the 7th day. Now that's for 2 reasons. When we were in Egypt, they worked us like dogs. Pretty much they still do. Okay? Also, in the book of Genesis, when Yahuwah was creating this crib for us, He did all of His work in the 6 days, and on the 7th day, He rested. Okay? So it's a day of rest. And we're to rest with Him. Father, please lead every word that I say. Don't let me forget a thing. There's so much going on today, Father. And I just ask that you give me a sound mind. Click it with yours and just speak whatever you would say, Father. And take all this other stuff that I have to do away and let me focus on this for right now. So I ask that you control that and keep me on course, and don't let me forget anything that you've told me. I ask it in your name, Yahuwah, and I thank you for it, Father. All right. Because I go off on rabbit trails. My mind is working 24 hours a day, so I had to say that. Okay. Yahuwah said in the laws, in the books that I gave you in the other video, that those that celebrate and observe his Sabbaths, we call them Shabbaths, they are separated from the world and what their Sabbath is. So we are completely separate and separated in Yah's eyes. He said, this is what separates my people from the world's people. And he said, not only that, this touched my heart. He said, for those that celebrate my Sabbath, he said, I will write your name on my temple walls. And when this is over, I will give you much greater name than sons and daughters. I cannot think of any greater name than being with the title of his daughter. Because I've only known, he's the only father I've ever had. He's raised me since I was a child. I can't think of anything greater. I take so much pride in just saying, yeah, I'm his daughter. Yeah, I am. I'm not adopted. How's that? But he said, I'll give you a much greater name than sons and daughters. That's just beautiful to me, even though I can't even imagine it. In fact, let me tell you something. In Nehemiah, when we got our land back, our city back, they were building up the walls, and they saw that the moon was almost full, and that it was the eve. Pretty much, ahead of time. If you watch it, we watch it like a hawk. It was the eve of the Sabbath. Now, listen. You know how they celebrate their Father, I have to say it, and then I'll just cancel it out in your name. You know how they celebrate their Christmas? And I cancel that out in Yahuwah's name. And they have like the eve of it. Okay? Well, we have the same thing, because at sundown every day, our new day starts. Like I said, it doesn't start at midnight. It starts when the sun goes down. Bam, it's a new day. So in Nehemiah, they just got the city back. And all the tribes were back together. And Nehemiah told Yahuwah, he said, I'm going to make sure that we don't lose this again. So he started watching over the city, and they're on the eve of our Sabbath, which would be when the moon was shining bright. And when that sun comes up, bam, it's our Sabbath day. He started noticing that our tribe of Yehuda was still buying and selling, making business deals, that there were people that were not Israelites that were within our city walls, and they were buying and selling and making business deals and purchasing things and having things sold. Well, let me tell you something. Nehemiah went off because he knew that this law right here, if you break this, you are stuck like Chuck. So what he did is he went over and he told Yehuda, you're not going to do this anymore. Isn't it enough that we were cursed before? Now we have the city back, and you are doing the same thing that you were doing that made Yahuwah take it from us and curse us. No. Stop all business transactions. And he set into precedence that on the eve of our Sabbath, that the city gates are to be shut. And he went outside those gates to all the merchants that were trying to come in. And he told them, if you don't leave this place and you don't stop coming here on our Sabbath, you're going to force me to put hands on you. I'm not kidding you. It's in the book of Nehemiah. Fascinating book. He wasn't going to give up what Yah had given us back. And so on the eve of the Sabbath, what are we supposed to be doing? What was Nehemiah talking about? We are supposed to be cleaning just like they do on their eve of CH. Yahuwah said, I want it to be a festive time. On this time, I want you to cook and prepare all your meals. Do everything that you have to get taken care of. And enjoy each other while you're doing it. See where they got their stuff from? Play music. Enjoy it. I want a festive atmosphere because it is a blessing. It's a holy day, set apart, and oh, how blessed you are that you are obeying. So, we prepare the meals. We get all the children bathed. We just have a wonderful time. We have a wonderful time. We cook our meals. We get all the desserts ready. And then when that sun comes up, bam, everything stops. Everything stops. We go to Father. We open up the Sabbath. And we thank Him for our day of rest and that we're resting with Him and all of heaven. There's 3 things that you do on that day. You eat, you rest and sleep, and as a tribe or a family, you have a reading of His Word, which is a holy convocation. Now, see, they twist it up with what they do. Only ours is a holy convocation. We don't take any drink or any of that. I hope you're awake enough to know to stay out of that. But it's a reading of His Word. And even our children read out of the adult Torah because we homeschool them. And so our oldest one is 6 years old, and he has been reading out of the Torah, the adult Torah, for about 6 months now. So it's our job to teach our children the laws. So I thought that was a wonderful place to start. Let's teach them how to read, and once we get them there, get them in the Torah, let them start speaking this stuff out. So you have a reading of the Word. Everyone picks whatever they're going to read, and that person reads it. And we praise Him. We've got the children instruments because He said, "Come praise in My name." So we all have instruments, and we sound like we sound a mess. I do the tambourine with the drum, and we have the cymbals. We got all kinds of instruments, but we still sound like we sound terrible. But I just keep praying and asking Yah. You know our heart. We're just praising You. And so I'm sure that I know He adores it because it's the obedience. But we're not gifted. We are not gifted in musical instruments. So we praise Him, and then we have a reading of His Word, and then we go back to either, doing whatever we're doing, or on another thing. You have to set this day aside from any other day of the week. So on this day, and you cannot defile it. That means you can't watch a movie that you know is going to have something in it that may say another person's name, another God's name. You have to filter everything that comes through that day because you cannot defile it. What does defile mean? Bring anything in outside of Yah. Worldly. Our children cannot watch, they're not supposed to work, so they can't watch ABCs. They can't watch some of the other shows that they watch, but they can watch David and Goliath, Noah's Ark, stuff like that, which is putting their history into them. At the same time, you're obeying the Sabbath. So if you listen to rap, if you listen to, I don't listen to raunchy music. I just don't. I'm a lovey-dovey gal. I like the soft, R&B stuff. But I don't even listen to that on the Sabbath because it's all about Yahuwah. So whatever you do on the other days, you kind of cut that out because this day is blessed and it's holy and it belongs to you and Yahuwah. And excuse me, I'm sorry. So you have to filter what you do through that day. I like to study. I like to spend time with my family, and you're eating. Sometimes we'll sip on wine. I'm not really a wine person, but you can sip on wine. It is a day of rest. In fact, in Nehemiah, it said, get all your strong drinks before the Sabbath and get everything taken care of. So all this is in there. We were just kept out of it. And it's just plain and simple. You can understand it. So another thing about the Sabbath is with the moons, it's not always going to be on the same day of the Gregorian calendar of the week. It's hard for us to, we have to use that, but stay on Yahuwah's calendar. So what I'm saying is that our Shabbath days will float. Do you understand? Sometimes, like our last one, our 7th day was on a THUR. I don't say the names of the week because they're curse words for us. They're profanity. So I abbreviate them. Anybody that listens to my videos knows that. So our last one was on THUR, and we have we have our new moon, full moon coming up. So that will change to another day. Sometimes it will fall on SUN. Sometimes it'll fall on WED. It's been on like all the days of the week. But when you go by the moon, you can't mistake it. Even if it's a cloudy night. Most of the time, when I go out, I have to watch that moon. And I've gotten to the place where I can look at wherever the sun is at, from what Yah's trained me, tell you exactly what time it is of the day. If you let him train you, he will. And I like to know everything about him, things that he loves. So I really put myself in there and I ask questions. So when you look at the moon, you're going to get to a place where you know what phase it is without even, you just know. When it comes to that left side, that's always going to look off. It's not going to look as sharp as it is on the right-hand side. That's going to tell you got one more night. But the next night is going to be your Shabbath. Okay, let me check my points here. Make sure I'm not off point, Father. Okay, we got that. Okay, what do we do on the Shabbath? That's what we do. Okay, yes, Father. So whenever that moon, you can always, that's what I was going to say, Father. Thank you so much. Listen, like if there would be a cloudy night, I would go outside, and if I couldn't see it, I come immediately back in the house, and I go to my window where I sit and pray. I know he's on the inside, but I still look towards the heavens because he's there too. And I tell him, Father, can you please clear the clouds? Clear them, just so one of us can witness where that moon is at and pinpoint it for when your Shabbath is, Father. It will not be 20 minutes later. He'll say, go outside, and I'll go outside. We can see the moon. But he's taught us another way to do it. He trained you in all areas so you never miss it. If that is a cloudy night and you can't see the moon, but you saw it the night before, you count those days up because they're always going to be on point. There will always be 30 days. So if you cannot see the moon, then you count the days down. And see, we work as a council in this house. And we work as witnesses because Yah said many counselors at the table bring much success. That's why we, our royals, are going in the way and prospering like he said, because we did it his way. When he says change something, we change it. But we always listen to him. But he speaks through all three of us and the rest of us. You see what I'm saying? So it floats. Now, when we get to this next moon, I'm going to try to do a live so you can see it if it's a clear night. And then we will count 7 days off, and that will be your 7-day weekly Shabbath. So we know that this is important, and we know that this is it can be deadly if you don't listen, because Yah said that this day and my Shabbos, and there's more than one. Thank you, Father. There's more than one. There's the new moon, which is the full moon Sabbath. That's a high Sabbath for Yahuwah. There is the 7-day Sabbath. There are the feast Sabbaths. And he's very, very plain and clear which one is the Sabbath on those feast days and which one is not. Like on Tabernacle. Let's see. So there's more than one Sabbath like they have. Another point I wanted to bring to you that will also bring evidence that it is not the dark moon. That's ridiculous, and I'm going to leave it alone. I've already been there. He would never do that. It's not the young moon. That's not the beginning of it either. I mean, that's not the ending of the moon either. It's the full moon That is going to be the last light before it goes dark, and then it goes to the full moon. So that's the very beginning of the moon. Let me see. So we get to the point where they float. Yes. On that live, if we can do it, I'm going to have you go outside with me and look at the moon so you can see. I'm going to make sure that we do it on the night before our Shabbath new moon, so that you can see how the edges of the left of the moon do not match up with the fully lit right of the moon. That's how you're going to tell. And after, when you learn how to do it, you can just look at it like that. It's off. You just know it's tomorrow night. Same way King David did it. So this is a day of rest. It's not to be played with. It separates you from, Yah said, from my people, from the world's people. We know that there are curses that will slap you in your face and everything you own and love if you are not on this Shabbath. Because that's what he said. It is a commandment. It's one of the laws. And there's not 10 of them, sweetie. Oh no, honey. There are 618. Most of them pertain to the Kohen, but the rest of them pertain to the children of Israel. And they are righteous laws that you're probably already living. Everybody thinks that when I come into this, I have to, it's going to be miserable. No, you're miserable over there. When you come into this, you're going to see that the laws are everything that you see as righteous anyway. I told you it's like putting on a suit that fits so good, and you refuse to take it off, and everything starts clicking. Yah just has to get you there. Does it demand change? Yes. The law demands change. You can't, I'm speaking to the princes. You can't do your neighbor's wife. That's going to be a problem. You cannot break marriage, wedlock. If you do, that's going to be a problem. Yes. You have to keep the righteous laws. But when you see what those righteous laws do for you and what they do for your finances, you will not come out of these laws. And anyone that tried to force me or my tribe out, listen, baby, you got a huge wolf by the ears, and you'd be best to let go, because we are not our ancestors, and we have seeked Yah, laid on the floor, waited for him, cried to get this back, and we are not letting go of it. This is our God. This is our heart, and we will not turn back to Rome. You better freaking know that. And you're going to have a fight on your hands with not just us, but Yahuwah himself and armies of angels that stand military form over each and every one of us, because we obey his Shabbath and the rest of the laws. So if you're thinking, this is just going to be bonded, no, this is freedom. Wake your ass up. Because if you think you're so free over there, you wait a second. Because you're going to be in a cage. It is written. So we're trying to line you up and give you the path to go, so that you can get to this Passover covenant. Because this is going to cover your life for 12 months with 7 blessings that you cannot buy, like the Christians try to steal your money. You can empty your freaking account. And if you're not at this Passover doing it the way he told you to do, until we go home, you are not covered, and something's coming for your ass. You have to come up under that crown. That's by coming into these covenant laws. And the first move we make is the Shabbath. And this Passover, this feast of ours, the children of Yasharel, is our first one. And it is a promise for the next 12 months of your life. So you can either be blessed, prosper, watch your enemies fall. No more stillborns, no more miscarriages. There's so much of it in there you won't believe it. But I want to wait till we get there to tell you what you're getting, what he promised to do, and we are witnesses of it. I have to get you there, because if I don't get you here and you don't take this invitation, you will not attend the wedding. And that is when we take this earth back over. That second Exodus is coming up, and there will never be another one. Because those of us that have chose the Father, we're not letting go. We're not letting go. And we are waiting to go home. Now, until this next new moon, I'm going to try to put out a series of videos to help you get ready for it. We're going to show you how we do the Passover, how Yah taught us. And believe me, we went all the wrong ways first, and then he brought us to the right way so that we don't ever go back that direction. You cannot do it like like the false Jews do. You cannot do it like that, because it's witchcraft. We went that way too. And then Yah said, you see the wrongs? You see where it doesn't line up? Now come out of it. And he would take us to the next phase. He gave me this to bring you in because this is almost over. So I hope you wake up, princes. And if there's any princesses listening, you can do this in your home. You can start this even if you're a single mother. And your children will be covered and untouched. I told you in Ezekiel where he said, those that have the mark, don't touch them. Don't go near them. It's Yahuwah bringing this stuff. He knows right where you are. And he knows his. And the blessings that explode in your life, they are unbelievable. I'm walking it. I'm living it. I am a miracle that I'm even still here. But when he brought me out of it, he had to save my life from being in it. And oh my goodness, I love him so much. When I think about him, I want to sob. Because he covered me all my life. And I get to come get you. I get to come and get you. I think that is just the greatest thrill. And let me tell you something, failing is not an option for me. Never has been when it comes to him or my family. It's not an option. If he trusted me with it, he depends on me. And I'm going to finish the task. And when I get home, I guarantee you, I had this. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. I love him so much that this lady that I didn't even know, but she was a next door neighbor, and we had just moved in. She was watching us and stuff, and I spoke to her a little bit. And one day she just came over. She said, "I need to speak with you." And I said, "Okay." She said, "It's from God." And I said, "Okay, tell me what is it? What is it?" And I stopped everything. So I went outside, and she said, "I have to tell you, your love for him is so sincere." And I said, "Yes." And she said, "He told me to tell you that when this is over, he said he has a crown of rubies waiting for you." I took a deep breath and I thought I was going to pass out, because nobody but Yahuwah knows that that's my favorite jewel. And it's more, he had me go in there and look at it after that. I found out that rubies are much more precious and much more expensive and rare than what a diamond is. I was like, what? So I knew that was from Yah. I knew it. And she said, and I want to tell you something. Your sons and your daughters will dine with kings because of what you do for him. I was blown away. Just because of that, how my heart feels about him. You see what I'm saying? He is amazing. And when he wants to tell you something, he's going to get it to you. This is why you will not pull this generation out of our laws. We have found our way home, and we are not coming out of it. And we will wreck your fucking world if you try to bring any drama and pull us from it. We have a king, and we have a God, and we go to him, and those laws cover us. And we can ask him to do anything to our enemy under those laws that the law calls for. We don't forgive. Because Father, he said an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, life for a life. That's our law. We just know how to fight. And we'll do it in physical, baby, until that war comes that he puts us in. When we fight like a bitch in the spirit. And you're going to feel it. Because we don't fight like the world does. And that's what these laws do for you. It fills you with power. So you can go to the Father and say, under the law, this is what you said. And I have another thing I want you to think about. I'm sure you've heard it, as above, so below. This is why the witches defile the full moon and use the full moon for sacrifices of children and animals and all that. How come they don't use the dark moon when it's completely out? Why not the new moon? Because so as above, so below. You understand? And if you come into these laws, he will open your eyes to everything. He will show you a new world. So that's our lesson for today. And the most important part about it is you need to really let this marinate in you. That this is going to literally set you apart from the world and Rome and its people. It's going to separate you. So it's going to kind of seal you. And the more you learn, you will not come out. You know, this is so beautiful. I'm going to have to stop this. I want to tell you this, and I'm going to have to go. You know, over there, everybody always says, well, my children. What about my children and those holidays over there? I mean, I don't want my children missing out on their gifts and on that tree and stuff, really? Because you only get it once a year. Yeah, you only get it once a year. And that's it. When you come over here, he prospers you. And so every 2 weeks, we have a blessing day for our children. They follow the rules. They do their studies. They you know, they're really young, so, you know. Then they get a blessing day every 2 weeks where they get new toys and an outfit. We get things for each other every 2 weeks. Are you freaking serious? Because Yah blesses your finances to be able to do that. You don't have a need. You don't have a lack. You get that one time over there. Are you freaking serious? And I was saying, wow, what a beautiful life my son and my daughter Miranda's children have. And they will never see the things that we saw or had to see or go through. They will just know his law. And so when they grow up as children, they say, you don't celebrate CH, which you already know what that is, with the tree and the gifts. And our children are going to say, no, Well, we get gifts and stuff like that. Well, we get gifts and clothes every 2 weeks. Yeah, we don't have to wait for that. Isn't that beautiful? That's how it is. You've just been hoodwinked. All right, so I think I've given you everything. So let's go to Father. Father, I thank you so much for being able to do this and to bring this to the princes and to the princesses. But the princes have to put it into effect in their house because they're the head of the house. I thank you so much for choosing me to do it. And I thank you for leading and guiding me through this and allowing my mind to just let go of the other stuff that has to be done today and just focus on this. Because, Father, I covered everything and I heard you clear as a bell. I ask that you take this to only yours, Yahuwah, and let them put this into effect. And I know that who is not chosen by you, they will not understand it or even pick it up in any kind of way. But I ask you to carry it to the four corners of the earth, Yah, with your name attached to it, so that we can get all your princesses and most of all your princes up under that crown, Yah, and in this covenant where they have protection from what you're sending here. I love you so much. I would do anything that you ask me to do fearlessly. If there's anything you need through this day, Father, I ask that you ask me or someone else in this tribe. And Father, as always, we ask for you to bring your judgment on those that plundered your people, us, and destroy it. And we thank you that all this is turning around for us right now, Yah. Thank you for everything that you're doing. We are royals. We're going to go get your children, Yahuwah, and they're going to come on their own free will. They're going to come on their own free will because you bring evidence to prove them to be liars, Yahuwah. Like Samson, I am an instrument. I am your ambassador, most preciously. I am your daughter. And use me any way you see fit, Yahuwah, to get this over with so we can come home. I thank you for it all. And I love you dearly, Father. So in your name, Yahuwah. Hallelujah! Yahoo! Yahoo! Yahuwah! To the house of Yasharel. Those of you looking for the calendar, and the feast, you cannot get to it without that moon. Because in ancient Hebrew, it means month. It's in all the books. Come with me. Come this way. I know the way home. And until our next video, I love you with all my heart. May our God, Yahuwah, the God of Genesis, the only true living God, bless you and yours and your tent. Until the next time, I adore you. Shalom.
I'm coming home.